Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to review the movie Cutthroat Island. Now, I am aware that this film was a spectacular financial failure. Costing $98 million, it had an opening weekend of $4 million and has grossed a total of $10 million. So the film cost 10 times as much to make as it made. So there's no arguing that financially this is the failure of a film. I think it may actually be one of the greatest failures of a film, but I'm not sure. But what kind of film is it? And that's what I'm talking about here. So this is the story of pirates. Gina Davis plays the pirate captain. Matthew Modine plays her slave. Yes, she actually buys him in the film. And they go on adventures. Now, I think one of the problems this film had is that it was too soon. Obviously, pirate films make money. Look at Pirates of the Caribbean. They're pulling money in hand over fist. Johnny Depp got $50 million to do the fourth film. 5 times what this film grossed completely just for his salary alone. So there's money in them that are pirates. It's just I think that the timing was off. The film is beautiful looking. The scenery is great. The costuming is solid. The ships look good. Gina Davis is an attractive woman. Matthew Modine is an attractive guy. They have that dashing kind of dairy-doing thing going on about them. The whole, Captain Blood, Errol Flynn thing. Matthew Modine fit really well into that role. He's classically trained in fencing, so he knows how to handle the sword. However, there are things that went wrong. First off, you see this little foam thing here? It's a squishy kind of thing. You squeeze it for stress. I don't know why we have it. If I take this and I go, nothing happens. You hear a dull thud as it hits my door. In the world of Cutthroat Island, however, that object would have blown up, taking out the entire side of my office and throwing me through the wall. Everything in this world blows up. I don't know if Rennie Harlin was aware of this fact, but in 1668, most ships are going to be firing solid shot. And solid shot is a big, round ball of metal. Okay? Most likely iron. Okay? It doesn't blow up when it hits things. It punches holes in things. Really effectively, I should point out. But everything in this film blows up. It was ludicrous. I didn't notice the first time I watched this movie, because this is the first time I've watched it since the original viewing. I went to the theaters to see this when it originally came out in '95. And this is the first time I've seen it since. So some 15 years later. Just absurd with the number of things that blew up in this movie. Also, he doesn't have a firm grasp on how you use cannons. He actually has ships firing at a moving carriage on shore. Now, first of all, why a boat would be broadside to the shore like that is beside me. But you'd be lucky to be able to hit a carriage that was sitting still with ship's cannons. They're not that accurate, let alone moving. Okay? But I think the biggest problem on this film is the pacing. Yes, the script isn't perfect, and some of the lines are delivered in a little wooden manner. And Frank Langella, who plays Dog Brown, their nemesis, chews up scenery like a great white shark, though his costuming apparently was based on a real pirate. I found that interesting. But the worst part of this film was the pacing. It just meanders around. And the score is horrible for this. It's these broad, sweeping pieces of music. It's something that sounds like it should be out of a Harlequin romance novel. It lulls you to sleep. This is not the soundtrack for an action movie. And that's what this is. I don't care if it's pirates. It's an action movie. And it fails miserably in that regard. I would love if this film could be put into the hands of a good editor who could get in there and start chopping stuff out. You'd probably need to take out 15 or 20 minutes of film, I think. But you could turn this into a much better movie. Because every single scene, it's like every camera shot lurks. It just lingers 2 to 3 seconds longer than every shot needs. Why he did this, I don't know. Now, I know people complain about like MTV generation styles of editing, lots of cutting and choppy stuff. This film needed that. It needed a rapid-paced form of editing, and it didn't get it. It was like it was edited and filmed like a drama, but it's an action movie. And it suffered for it. Now, I love Gina Davis in Long Kiss Goodnight. I reviewed that here. And the pacing in that was wonderful. It just kept rolling all the way along. It was awesome. Okay? It was ludicrous and silly, but it was an awesome action movie and lots of fun. This was not a good action movie, and it wasn't a good drama. It just failed. I don't hate this movie, but I definitely don't love it. It could have been a great action film. It could have been so much fun. But it just meanders around, lost. It's like a ship bobbing in the ocean without any wind. And it desperately needed a wind. And Rennie Harlin was the wrong guy to direct this movie. And whoever edited it was the wrong guy, unless Rennie just didn't let him do his job. So between the blowing things up and the crappy delivery of lines and Frank Langella chewing up scenery and the incredibly glacial pace of this film, it's not hard to figure out why it was such a financial failure. I wanted to love this film. I liked the genre, I liked the actors, but I just couldn't. This isn't a good film, folks. I don't know if it deserves to be one of the worst in history, but it definitely isn't good.